Hello, guys.
Hello.
Here we are.
Hello, sir.
It's a Monday morning. We got through the weekend.
Yes, we
Success.
did.
Success. We arrived.
And made it to Monday.
And it's Monday now.
It's Wednesday when you're watching this, hopefully, but it's
That's right.
It's Monday right here.
That's right.
Man, this is time travel.
Yep.
Time changed.
The time did change.
Lord.
Man, it got dark so fast last
Yes,
night.
it did.
Barely got home and it was dark. I lay down in bed and looked up and it was 6:15
PM.
p.m. Yeah, I'm like, oh, man. I got to try to stay awake for 4 hours.
Good weekend, though, for us.
Big weekend. A
Yeah.
lot of folks here this
Yeah.
weekend.
A lot of new people.
Whole lot.
Got
Yeah.
to meet a few new people this past
did
weekend, so
too.
that was fun. And we kicked off a new series.
Yep.
Got really creative with this one as well.
The fall.
The fall.
The fall.
Yeah, we
In
thought
the
long
fall.
and hard on that one.
In the fall. That is not really the fall.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I said. We're going to rehash that too. are we?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. What did you mean?
That's
when
what
you
we
said
do when we rehash what you said.
Okay.
That's what this is all about.
Well, we got that one. That was good.
Check.
Check that one.
As you can see, friends, this not really sure where this is headed today.
that? Why not?
Kind of the same path it always heads on, I guess.
Yeah. So we are going to get to the place where we look at Genesis 3 as we kind of go through this series, but wanted to kind of jump back a little bit before we talked about the fall of man and talk about the fall of Satan this past weekend. And as we kind of got rolling and got things moving, you made the comment about how oftentimes we give the enemy a lot more credit than he deserves. And I kind of just got to thinking about that. How do we do that? What are some ways that we end up giving the enemy more credit than what he really deserves in our own lives?
We talk about him a lot, I think.
Yeah.
You know, something goes wrong and, well, the devil's attacking me and all this sort of thing. And we give him, I think we just think about him a
Yeah.
lot. He's in our awareness probably more than he needs to be. That may not be true for everybody,
Sure.
but a lot of people just have this idea of lurking demons around every corner, and there certainly are spiritual hosts of wickedness. They're there, but they are defeated. That's the
Yes.
main thing we want to bring across. It's I said this yesterday, you know, we're not fighting for a victory, we're fighting from a victory that's already been won.
Right.
And I think that's critical that we remember that. Satan is defeated already. And anytime we move into a realm where we think we're fighting a battle that has to be won, I think we give him a lot more credit than he's due.
That's good.
Yeah, I found myself wondering when you were talking through it, like when we give him that credit, sometimes I wonder if he's even actually on the attack or if he's just so much in our brain that when something goes wrong because we made a mistake or it's just life is happening, if we go, oh, the devil, you know, like, or maybe we did something.
I said maybe it was just our own
Yeah,
stupidity.
maybe he's like, well, I don't got to worry about that person anymore. They're taking care of themselves.
That's right.
You know, as a leader, when you don't own your failures, when you don't own your mistakes and you're part of the problem, you can continue to make those mistakes.
Right.
One of the things that great leaders and just great people do is they own their part of situations. And so many people just want to blame the devil for their own bad decisions sometimes. That's a way that we certainly give him more power, because when we don't own it, we can't change it.
Yep.
It's good.
One of the other things that you had said before,
Who's going to talk
just
next?
usually if I give Matt a look, he'll kind of roll into something else. This
I was
time
just
that
like,
did
don't
not
look at Greg.
that did not happen this time. One of the other things that you mentioned as we were kind of getting the framework about recognizing who our enemy is you kind of went through this really fast-paced conversation there where you wanted to kind of play the opposite game with us, and you went through it, and even I knew where you were going because I had read your notes, so I kind of had an idea on that. But I think it is a common misconception there. You kind of threw out some words, and we had to say the opposite of it. And you said God, and a lot of us tend to think that the opposite of God is Satan. It's the adversary. It's the good versus evil that is there. But man, you really laid it out there for us that's not true at all. You know, and you kind of helped us to see that
He doesn't have that power at all. Only God has existed forever.
Yeah.
Only God is eternal. Only God has the ability to create. Only God is omniscient, that is, He knows everything. Only God is omnipresent, meaning He's everywhere. We ascribe all kinds of power to the devil. You know, people think Satan can read their minds.
Yeah, yeah.
He cannot. He can. It's one of the reasons why our words are so powerful. A lot of times the words we speak tells what's in our mind, and it actually gives the enemy ground. It gives him strategy with which to defeat us, you know. So a lot of times we just tell him what's on our minds by worry and by saying bad things and speaking his language over ourselves. So he can't read our minds. He can't be everywhere. The devil is not in North Carolina and in Florida and in India today. He's limited.
I think that's a common misconception right there
Very
as well,
much.
is that we tend to believe that he's everywhere, right?
not.
And you're right. I mean, he's not able to do that.
The belief of many, many Christians, and I would hold the belief, is that Satan, when he was cast out of heaven, there were about a third of the angels in heaven that rebelled with him. That's something we didn't mention over the weekend,
Right.
but that's there's verses for that. Don't have them forefront of my mind right now, but a third of the angels went with him in this rebellion. And many Christians believe those are actually demonic spirits today. Those are
Right.
what they are. So they are spiritual beings, but all of those are created, and all of those are subject to God, and He could destroy them at any time if He wanted to, you know. But they're still here.
Yeah.
We learn from them, and we take the battle back to them.
That's good. So he's created, and then you said he's limited in a couple ways as well. He doesn't have this unlimited ability to attack or to do all these things that I think, again, that we give so much credit to him as being able to do. And sometimes I wonder, like, where did all of that come from? Like, where did we come up with this idea that he's got this unlimited rule of everything going on in our lives?
I don't know. It just starts with giving him more credit than he deserves, and
Right.
it goes from there to where he's almost godlike. You know, there's a concept, you know, of a dualistic line of thinking that, and a lot of people really believe this, that there's a force for good and there's a force for evil, and those two things are equal, and they're just contending against each other. You know, and that's just not where it is. There's philosophy built on that. You know, good and evil wrestle against each other. But that's just not the truth. Good has conquered evil already through Christ. When He died on the cross and gave His life, the power of sin was broken. When He came up out of the tomb, the power of death was forever broken. The battle's been won. You see that in the New Testament church. They were walking in their God-given authority to speak healing, to cast out devils, to do miraculous things because the spiritual battle had been won. Same authority that's available to us today.
The word authority there seemed to have a little bit of a ringing theme throughout yesterday and the weekend's message. The idea of us being reminded of the authority that we have over our spiritual enemy as well. And you referenced back to the instance where the disciples were sent out to go out and be able to cast out demons and to heal the sick, and they were able to do that. And you kind of, I love the story format that's kind of there, that as you brought Jesus into Edneyville, so to speak. And I ain't surprised by this, boys. You know, this didn't. I was there when he failed, when he was cast out of heaven, and you guys are getting a chance to see that now. But us being able to be reminded that the only power that the enemy has over us is what we're giving him, the open doors that we give to him, and so we have authority. We have the ability to take authority over to him. I thought that was a really powerful idea for us to walk away with from yesterday as well.
You know, the Scripture teaches us to give no place to the devil, and it's a big statement, and if I examine my life, I can look in ways that I've actually given him a place in my life from which to torture and torment me and tempt me and all this kind of thing. You know, when I'm critical I give place to the devil. When I'm bitter and unforgiving, I give place to the devil. When I speak negatively of myself or other people, I give place to the devil. When I let anxiety live in my mind, I give place to the devil, you know. That's why the scripture says, take captive every thought. So I'm as I grow in Christ, I'm learning not to give him a place, you know. And it's so easy to give the devil a place in your life.
Yeah, because I mean, oftentimes we're not even thinking about it from that aspect, right? We're not even thinking about the open door that we have going on there. It's a decision that seems very simple in the moment and seems very innocent in the moment, and then next thing you know, you are allowing a foothold to take place in your life.
Yeah, guy sent me a video this morning, and they know this already because I've been in the office ticked off about it. Guy sent me a video of this other guy. I won't call names. You guys knew I would get to
Let's
this.
not call
Tagging
names.
everybody in this now.
Let's not call names.
Really, a video being critical of a church that's precious to me. And I was so ticked coming in the office today.
Was?
I'm getting over it.
He's getting rid of that.
I'm getting over it.
Confessing it right
Don't
here.
mess with my friends. Don't be critical
Yeah.
of people who are doing good things, you know, and don't use depreciating humor against people like that. To me, I'm not saying they did, in my opinion, give place to the devil, but by me getting angry about it, I could let that ruin the rest of my day, you know, and I could just give place to the devil. And I'm in the middle of that right now.
Right.
I'm in the middle of, because I came in ready to go find these people. You know what I mean? I have a temper. When you hurt somebody I love, I get ticked about it. But anyway, that's a way to give place to the devil.
And you referenced this.
Sometimes we just got to talk about what we're going
That's
through right
That's-
now.
yeah.
Exactly.
And you referenced this yesterday in a little bit of a different context, but you talked about taking captive every thought. You know, if it's a thought that is obviously not of God, a thought that is from the enemy, we take captive of that thought, and then we kind of begin to walk out, you know, the steps that you laid out for us yesterday as well. But I think that's a real life, real up to the minute example right there of exactly what we're talking about here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's real.
And it's not the power that he has over you, right? He has zero power over you. It's the fact of that we've stepped into a normal emotion that we get a chance to experience, but we allow it to be exaggerated and be taken down a path that maybe we shouldn't go that far.
We talked yesterday, and this is what I'm learning, and I've said this many times because I laugh at myself for doing it. Driving down the road and you start having this imaginary argument with somebody.
Right.
You know, they say something and you say something and it's all happening in your mind. That's a real battleground.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny when we think about how silly it is, but that's a true battleground. We're going to be learning in this series that one of the ways to not give place to the devil is just don't have a conversation with him. You know? And we'll talk about this week. When you strike up a conversation with him, he's going to be reeling you in. You don't talk to him. You just don't get in that conversation.
Right.
When he comes, take that thought captive really quickly and cast it out.
Yeah, he's not trying to find some middle ground. Like,
No.
he's got one goal in mind.
And you can do that.
Sure.
You know, I can discipline my mind to say, I'm not going to think about that. It's not easy for me. You know, I can get one email and let it stay in my head all day.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I can do that. I really can. Or one phone call, or somebody upset about something, or something that upsets me. And I can very easily let that take a day to process. And I'm missing all kinds of other good things because I let that conversation stay here.
Yep.
I'm learning to take charge of it much more quickly and to say, that's not staying. Nope, that thought, there it is, out. Moving on.
That's good.
It's almost like in those moments, you either take the authority you've been given and use it, or you give the authority to him.
Forfeit that authority.
And it's
That's
not
the
even,
truth.
it's like,
It feels like there's no neutral ground there.
yeah.
That you can't stay in the middle. You either stand in your authority or you surrender it to him.
Yeah.
You know.
That's good. Say that again.
Okay. You,
No, seriously.
two S's too.
It was.
right?
I know.
Makes it
And that was
really good.
that was off the cuff too.
Man, I'm glad you recognize that greatness there. It's you either stand in your authority or you surrender it at that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I may say that Sunday, and if I say that on Sunday, it happened right here.
Right here,
next to
and
You
you
were
guys
a
were
part of
witnesses to it.
Round table message right now.
No, that's good. I like that. Yeah, because that's the reality and that's the truth of what we're facing every single day. I either get to stand in the authority that God's given me, or I'm going to surrender it and let somebody else hoard that authority over me.
Yeah, that's the truth. Well, our enemy's defeated. There's so much to be excited about, so much to be happy about.
Yep.
Good things are happening.
Yep.
All kinds of good stories in the community, man. We do have a fire still going, but that seems to be a little better this morning
Yep.
from the smoke. Anybody heard anything new? I know we're into current events now, but
Yeah. I think the last report I saw was basically from last night. I think I saw something this morning that said that they had another. I mean, that the firefighters had another good night of kind of keeping everything where it was. And,
weather conditions were good.
Weather
I think they
conditions were good
contained last night
Yeah.
pretty well.
So
But keep that in prayer, and a lot of people getting saved. How many hands went
10.
up to say yes? 10 yesterday said, I'm saying yes to Jesus.
Yep.
That's just incredible.
it's going to be a good series too.
I'm excited for it.
Kinda as we're rolling through this and getting a chance to dive deep into Genesis 3 next couple of weeks as well.
And before we know it, Christmas is here. Matt takes a deep breath.
Yay.
Got some fun stuff excited.
We get excited
for
about Christmas around here.
gonna
Got
be
some good
good.
stuff planned. It's going to be great, and Christmas Eve services will be
We got
coming
a
up.
3-week series followed by Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
After the fall, we do 3 weeks and Christmas Eve service.
Yep.
What are we doing for Christmas Eve this year?
We are doing 4 services for Christmas Eve.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, buddy.
4.
We're doing 4. Yeah.
be
So
fun.
one of those, it'll be a fairly normal schedule for us as far as normal service times and stuff.
It's Sunday this year.
Yep, Christmas
Yeah.
Eve falls on a Sunday, and so we'll have our Thursday night service. That'll be a Christmas Eve service, and then we'll do those 3 on Sunday morning. Actually, Christmas Eve, and it's gonna be a good weekend. We're getting excited about that. A lot of good things are
fun.
going into it.
Excited about this holiday. I've started decorating a little for Christmas already.
Ooh.
All right.
Wheeled out a few decorations. Alexa came home and said, "What are you doing? There's Christmas decorations." I said, "Hey, we had a Christmas dinner the other night, on
Exactly.
November the 4th, and so
Our staff and
we
board
go.
Christmas dinner was done,
Yeah.
so that's good.
thanks, guys. Been good. Thank y'all for watching and listening."